I have a question for you. Deep down, do you really think that your business can survive long term without your processes and documents being crystal clear and written and available to your team? Do you really think that it being in your head might contribute to why you have struggles getting your team to be consistent and not skip steps and to do it wrong or not do it at all, causing you to spend more of your time A, cleaning it up, or B, apologizing to customers, or C, taking money off your invoice for work that y'all didn't do right? You know, I talk about this a lot, and it seems like most people think it's extremely overwhelming. And it might just be because it's going to take time. And right now you're spending your time on the parts of your business that your hopefully well-paid staff should be executing very well, but they don't because they don't have processes. Now, written processes and systems and SOPs do not exclusively mean that your team will do everything right, but you will incredibly elevate the likelihood that they will, and you'll also be able to hold people accountable. You'll be able to recognize who's doing it and who's not, because they've all taken this. I really, really, really can't express enough that if you start a business, this is part of it. Business license, insurance, taxes, run the business with processes. It doesn't matter if you're anything, if you're a street sweeper or a truck driver or a fleet management company or a restoration contractor or a plumber. Ultimately, you will come back around to this conversation enough time, your growth will stall or go backwards, and you'll come to the realization that the one thing that many of us have been avoiding or didn't know about is the one thing that's going to help us, or one of the many things that are going to help us get to the next level. You know, so is it just that you don't know the framework, how to do it? Because you, as the owner, probably know how to do everything in your company. And you might not know where to start. And that's what I hear a lot. But I will tell you, you start with the things that right now that you're seeing the most often, that are causing the most pain, causing the most profit. You know what those are. Those are the things that keep you up at night. Who's on call? How does that work, right? Who gets the call? What to do when you get a call? What do you do that first night? The owner doesn't need to get a call and being woken up for something as standard as responding to a new loss. That's what you do. You're a company that responds to disasters. It should become your customers feel like the very person coming out, the technician, lead tech, maybe crew chief, whatever you call them, is more than competent. As a matter of fact, they might even be a professional expert at that. But you don't need everybody in the company to wake up, and the owner doesn't need to get up. You need to get up in the morning fresh and work on your company again. Maybe writing on more SOPs or assigning that to people. But if the idea of how to start that is difficult, it really is simple. It really is, and I don't mean that wrong, but it's taking things from here, this is what needs to be done, to over here, this is what it being done looks like with a great result, and then make yourself modules in between, which might mean, you know, what system do we use, what software, which vehicle do you take, what do you need on the truck to go if you don't keep your truck loaded. Every single piece that if you were somehow not available, someone could look at and say, aha, I got it. That's how it starts. And here's another thing. If you were to try to create an SOP for something and it didn't resonate with your team, they will tell you. Matter of fact, they might be better at doing it than you are. They might, they might just say, you know what, boss, let us take a crack at it. We do this all the time. Maybe we don't do it great, but we do know what needs to be done. Maybe your best person will sit with you and get an idea of what's on your, and then they can get 80%. It comes back to your plate. They email it to you, hand it to you, whatever, and you fine tune it. But most of the work's done. That's how you start. Set yourself a goal that you want to do 2 a week. And I'm talking all the way from order intake to new hires, everything in every single aspect in your company. And yes, it might take 2 years. But you know what will happen in 2 years? You will have a playbook. And I will tell you something else for you owners that are watching. If you've never had a valuation put on your company to figure out the value and the multipliers, the multiplier and the valuation of a company that has that in good shape versus those that don't is a substantial amount. So if exit strategy or building your company to have value and not just be a company that provides you a paycheck, if that's in your wheelhouse and in your desire, this is something you need to start getting done. And I don't mean to diminish it. It's not simple for everybody because it's something you haven't done. But you all are capable. I know you are. If you're watching this video because it's in the air group, you are professionals. You are a little or a lot better than most restoration contractors. You can do this. And I think you would find, and your team would find it incredibly refreshing that they now can be judged on their performance of things that are trained properly, not just learn on the job and hope that you come across every type of job there is. So just start with a few of them and don't stop. Don't get a few, then get busy, and then don't come back to it. Be consistent. But it's better if you have someone on your team that can collaborate with you and help with that. So anyway, this is an area where I see a lot of area and room for improvement. And I can tell you 100 businesses outside of ours that have this done, and it helps them grow bigger. Because imagine what you could do with your time if your team did their job really, really, really well, and you were able to go out and build more relationships, make more sales. You didn't have to cut your bills. You could fine-tune your estimating. In other areas of your business you want to be better at, you could really put a lot of horsepower behind that and do that with your time and energy. If that sounds good, give me a thumbs up. Let me know that you saw this video. I'd like everyone in this group to respond of maybe, how you manage this in your company. I know some people here that have that done in their company, and you'll see from the bottom line, top and bottom line, you'll see the difference. You will. So, and last thing, if you're a small company, please don't say, I'm too small to worry about that yet. Let me promise you, you're going to have it the easiest. You are small enough in your size and your overwhelming amount of busy. I mean, you're busy because you're doing most of the work, but it's a lot easier to build a company and build SOPs when they're smaller and you don't have 40 jobs a week than it is to start to get there, don't have the infrastructure, start to fail, problems get bigger, phones are ringing from upset customers, jobs aren't getting completed, handoff to reconstruction is not working. It's really, really difficult when you get to Maybe figure it like minor leagues and major leagues. Work on your swing and your catching in the minors. Don't wait till you get up there and you're facing Pujols and try to figure out how to pitch. So anyway, hope this is a good video for everybody. I know everybody talks about it, but are you doing it? Later.